Gray, the defendant, is sentenced to life in prison.
But first tonight, Bailey Boswell learns her fate today for her part in a murder case. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Boswell could have been the first female here in Nebraska to be put on death row.
However, she instead got life behind bars for the murder of Sydney-Loofe of Lincoln. Channel 8's Joseph Nasser was at the sentencing in Wilbur and has our top story tonight.
A collective gasp inside the Saline County Courthouse earlier this morning at the sentencing of Bailey Boswell. Unlike her accomplice, Aubrey Trail, who was sentenced to death here back in June, Boswell was spared the death penalty after a team of judges could not agree that the punishment was appropriate. Bailey Boswell departing the courtroom after receiving her sentence for the murder of Sydney-Loofe without making eye contact with the family of the woman she murdered. Monday morning, the families of Loofe donned in purple, Boswell, and Boswell herself hung on every word of the sentence read by Judge Vicki Johnson.
Sentence. On count 1, murder in the first degree, the defendant is sentenced to life in prison.
Bailey Boswell was spared the death penalty. She will not be the first female in Nebraska to sit on death row.
The reaction is we're grateful, just like Bailey's grateful for the sake of her family, particularly her daughter, Nala, that she received a life sentence.
In order for someone to be sentenced to death in the state of Nebraska, a 3-judge panel must all agree that a murder manifests exceptional depravity. Depravity is just a fancy way of saying very wicked or evil. How does the state determine this? At least one of the following 5 factors must be demonstrated: apparent relishing of a murder, the infliction of gratuitous violence, needless mutilation of a victim, senselessness of the crime, helplessness of the victim. Only 2 of the 3 judges agreed that Boswell's role in the murder warranted the death penalty.
Nothing in this dissent should be understood to diminish the senselessness of the murder of Sydney-Loofe and the great pain this has caused her family and friends. However, because I could not find that the state had met its burden of proof as to the aggravating circumstances, I hereby dissent from the other 2 judges on this panel.
Boswell's attorney, Todd Lancaster, says a split decision is not uncommon in these sorts of cases. Was justice served in this case?
I'm not sure how to answer that. Was it a good thing, I think, that Bailey didn't get a death sentence? Yes, I think that is a good thing.
Now, as for the Loofe family, they were escorted outside of the courthouse through a side door to the parking lot. They left almost immediately without speaking to reporters. Reporting in Wilbur, Joseph Nasser with Channel 8 News.
Boswell's attorney, Todd Lancaster, did say that Boswell will now be transported to the York Correctional Facility. He also said that he plans to appeal certain evidentiary rulings, including some statements from Aubrey Trail, her co-conspirator.